Okay, good morning, dear student. Let us have a quick recap. What particular topic we are dealing with in your class? What topic is going on in direct tax? Can I have your answer, please, on chat box? Topic I'm talking about. Yes. Thank you, Aradhya, for the right answer. We are dealing with heads of income, and in heads of income, we have started with salary head of income. Very correct answer. Which section of Income Tax Act is dealing with salary head of income? Which section of Income Tax Act is dealing with salary head of income? Thank you, Samida, Hinal, Kinjal, Aditi, Khushi for the right answer. Tanvi, Shruti, Saren, Aradhya, Suresh, etc. Thank you very much. So section 15 to 17 is dealing with salary head of income. Okay. What is there under section 15 of Income Tax Act 1961? Section 15 of Income Tax Act 1961. Perfect. Samida, Aradhya, Pragati, Mehak, Tanvi, Saren. I expect all of you should participate. Okay? Don't sit idle. Shivam, Omkar, Kaushal, Riya, Ravindra, everyone should participate. Ayush, Asif, everyone, Tanvi and all. How this basis of charges goes? How we do the basis of charges? What are the provision of basis of charges? Rather, what is explained under section 15 of Income Tax Act? I want other student also to participate, please. Thank you, Samida, Sharon, and Shreyas for the right answer. Yes, it goes like this. Salary is chargeable to tax either on due or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. Whatever is taking place earlier, accordingly, you will be chargeable and you will be liable to pay tax. Thank you very much. Very right answer of section 15. Now let us go to section 16 of Income Tax Act. 1961. Perfect. Perfect. So section 16 of Income Tax Act is talking about deductions. And there are three deductions under section 16 of Income Tax Act. They are there in different subsection of section 16. Okay. Which are those? Section 16 subsection 1, standard deduction. Section 16 subsection 2, entertainment allowance. Section 16 subsection 3, professional tax. So these are three deductions which are explained under section 16. Please use this Roman 1, 2, 3 which Samida has used in the act that is there. So please use this. This is perfect. Kinjal for your reference. Okay. Now tell me, what is the amount of deduction? What is the amount of deduction under section 16(1)? Section 16 subsection 1. Under section 16 subsection 1. Thank you, Hinal, Samida, Khushi, Ria, Pragati, Noel, Ruchi. Thank you very much. So this year the deduction is 50,000 ad hoc amount. Okay. Irrespective of your government employee, your private employees, etc., etc. 50,000 is standard deduction. Now let us talk about 16 subsection 2. 16 subsection 2. Yes. Thank you, Himanshi. It is only for government employee. Yes, Samida is very perfect. Only and only for government employee. If you are other than government employee, you will not get this deduction. And again, there is three subheading: 1/5 of the salary, actual entertainment, and 5,000. 5,000 amount is also there. So amongst three, whichever is least, whichever is lowest will be allowed as a deduction. Remaining will be taxable. Very, very true. Okay. So first and foremost, it will be allowed only for government employee, and then there will be three deductions, three limits rather: actual entertainment allowance received, 1/5 of the salary, or 5,000. Whichever is less will be allowed as a deduction, remaining will be taxable. Okay. 16(3), section 16, subsection 3. Section 16, subsection 3. Section 16, subsection 3. Yes, professional tax deducted and outstanding not allowed. Very perfect answer. Outstanding not allowed. Okay. So we have seen section 15, we have seen section 16. Now it is a turn of section 17. Let us go and talk about section 17 of Income Tax Act. Section 17 of Income Tax Act. Section 17 of Income Tax Act. Samhita 17.1, definition of what? Definition of Samhita. Yes, definition of salary. Okay. Then definition of perquisites. Very, very correct. Okay. Salary includes everything. Okay. Whatever you are getting from employer, being the employee, everything is salary. Wages, salary, remuneration, ex gratia, bonus, allowances, perquisites, everything is salary, salary, salary only. Arrear of salary, advance salary, everything is salary. Okay. And these two words, perquisites and allowances, are very important in salary. What do you mean by allowances? What do you mean by allowances? What do you mean by allowances? Superb. It is sum of money which is received by the employee from his employer in addition to salary and wages. So it is in terms of cash, is allowances. There are several allowances. Dearness allowances, yes, monetary. Dearness allowances, city compensatory allowance, uh, tribal area allowance, hill area allowance, helper allowance, uniform allowance, research allowance, overtime allowance, lunch allowance, medical allowance, children's education allowance, hostel expenditure allowance, and so on, so forth. House rent allowance, etc., etc., etc. What we need to learn in allowances, that certain allowances are fully taxable, certain allowances are partly taxable, and certain allowances are fully exempted. So most probably under section 10 subsection 14 of Income Tax Act, we need to learn a table. Section 10 subsection 14, we need to learn which allowances are fully taxable, which are partly taxable, and which are fully exempted. Thereby, three allowances for which we need to know the amount. Children's education allowance, 100 rupees per child per month, maximum for 2 children. Children's hostel expenditure allowance, 300 rupees per child per month, maximum for 2 children. And transport allowance, 800 rupees. We need to know the amount. Certain allowance to the extent you are incurring as an expenses will be allowed as a deduction, so on and so forth. Okay. Whereas in the case of perquisite, they are not in terms of cash. but other benefit. So there we got helper allowance. Here you will get helper, gardener. Yes, extra benefit. Okay. From employer to employee. And employer is going to bear those burden. Okay. Again, perquisite has three story. Fully taxable, partly taxable, and fully exempted. I hope this revision is very, very fruitful for all of us. And then I think we started computing the income also. We started the first step of salary computation, which is known as scaling. Am I right? Have I started scaling? If the salary is increasing by this, right? Promotion is the right of scaling. So in salary, as per the terms of agreement, okay, no problem. In salary, as per the terms of agreement, your salary will increase every year by default. Okay. Promotion is a right of salary. It is always there in terms of employment. Why there is a promotion? Why there is a extra benefit every year? Because our economy is growing economy. There is inflation in the market. To cope up with those inflation, we need extra fund. And that extra fund is given by employer to their employee in terms of scaling. Every year there is extra amount to be paid, to be added to your salary. Okay? To your basic salary. That is known as scaling. So suppose I am taking an example like Samida is only giving the very uh, perfect answer. So I'm assuming that Samida has been appointed by TCS in 2016. Okay. So in April 2016, Samida has been appointed by TCS with a salary of 10,000, scaling of 1,000, to 12,000, scaling of 3,000, to 15,000, scaling of 5,000. What will be the salary of Samida as if now? What will be the per month salary of Samida as if now in 2020? Okay, 27,000. Other student, please participate and get me your answers. Okay, 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 maybe. Okay, you all are making an error. Let me explain the story of scaling. So this was, now nobody will put there in any answer. So she has been appointed in April. Every April there will be an increment. First increment will be 1,000 rupees till she is reaching 12,000. After that increment will be 3,000 till she is reaching 15,000. And then the increment will be 5,000. Okay. So I'll start my story from 1st April 16. Her salary will be 10,000. Then 1st April 17. Her salary will be 11,000. Then 1st April 18. Her salary will be 12,000. Then 1st April 1st April 19. Her salary will be 15,000. Now the hike will be of 3,000. Okay. So after 12 basic, the increment is 3,000. Once you have reached the 15,000, then from 1st April 20, her salary will be 20,000 per month. Understood the logic of scaling? So till that extent, it will increase by 1,000. Then next scaling, likewise. Got it? If I'll ask, what is the salary for the last year? So 1st April to 31st March, salary will be 15,000. From 1st April 2020 onwards, salary will be 20,000. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to everyone? This is known as scaling. And this all will be there in your life. If you are working, you will start as a job, your professional journey will start. That is why I'm always telling you this is your things which you are going to face in your personal and professional life. Okay. But do you think every time the employment will be in the month of April? Every company will employ you in the month of April? Do you think it is feasible? I'm telling you 90% no. Yes or no? We can be appointed anywhere during the year. So then from that month onwards, the scaling will start. So suppose I'm assuming that Samida has been appointed on 1st Jan 15. 1st Jan 15. Okay. So what will be the salary of Samida? Or rather 1st, ठीक है 1st Jan 15 चलेगा. देखते हैं क्या आता है. If she has been appointed not on 1st April 2016, okay, forget about April. If she has been appointed in January 2016, if she has been appointed in January 2016, sorry, January 2016, What will be your story? What will be the salary of Samida as if now? January 2016, in spite of April. In spite of April, if it is January, then very correct. So your calculation will goes like this. Yes, 16. Okay, no worries. So your calculation will goes like this. What I have just now stated to you all. January to January. January to January. Am I right? Have you understood this concept? Have you understood this concept? Tell me yes or no. Yes. See, earlier it was in April. Now the appointment has been made in January. So her increment will be there in every January. My earlier calculation, if we'll check it, we have increment in the month of April. So my appointment date will be any month, but year ending or financial year is fixed 31st, sorry, 1st April to 31st March. So if they are asking what is the annual salary of Samida for previous year, what will be per annum salary for the previous year, then what I will do? Then what I will do? So in such case, my previous year is from 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020. Don't write, please see. 1st April 19 to 31st March 20. Yes or no? So April to 19 to December 19, the salary will be 15,000. January 20 to March 20, salary will be 20,000. Yes or no? Understood everyone? Okay. So what will happen? For 9 months, salary will be 15,000. For 3 months, salary will be 20,000. So 15,000. Please don't write anything into 9 months. Yes. No one will write, please. We have less than 1 minute. So 15,000 into 9 months. And 20,000 into 3 months.